Where do humans come from? A single place? Or does human history begin at roughly the same time but in different regions of the world? Archaeological findings over the past 100 years indicate humans may not originate only at the Olduvai Gorge in East Africa. Another possible location is Nihewan in northern China. In 1935, French paleoanthropologist Abbe Bruil was studying stone artifacts and animal fossils from Nihewan. Bruil found one of the seemingly ordinary artifacts and the fossils associated with it to be quite unusual. He reckoned it was a stone axe used by ancient humans. On the fossils, he also noticed scratches made by stone tools. Bruil became excited about what he felt was a very important discovery. He decided to write a thesis elaborating on the existence of Chinese ape men in the Nihewan area. Bruil's thesis was published in the archaeological journal Paleoanthropology in France. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, another French paleoanthropologist who had made surveys in Nihewan, disagreed with this conclusion. He wrote an article refuting Bruil's findings, which was also published in Paleoanthropology. The argument between the two over the possible life of Homo sapiens in Nihewan drew the immediate attention of archaeological circles worldwide. As World War II broke out, archaeologists no longer had the opportunity to make research trips to Nihewan, and the dispute gradually fell into oblivion. In the fall of 1978, Yo Yu-ju, who worked at the Institute of Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleoanthropology, went to Nihewan with researchers Tang Ying-ju and Li Yi. Two years before he went to Nihewan, Yo had visited the Olduvai Gorge in East Africa. He concluded that 1 million-year-old human remains should also exist in China.
回国以后，裴文中、贾南坡2位院士一直鼓励我，在国内能够找到更早的人类化石和旧石器。他们希望我能够到泥河湾进行一次考察。
Yeo chose Xiao Changliang in the Nihewan area to begin field work. Such work is difficult, and much of the success depends on luck. Yeo believed Breuil's conclusion from more than 40 years earlier about the existence of Chinese ape men in Nihewan was credible. He felt the secret of these Homo sapiens must be hidden in the rock layers. One morning, Yeo took his colleagues Tang and Li to Xiaochangliang, southwest of Nihewan village, where they started their survey and search along a wide and deep ditch.
吃饭的时候，我看到这个陡壁上地层非常清楚，在这陡壁上隐隐约约我看到有闪亮的光芒。
Yeo decided he needed to take a closer look.
这样的我呢，就放下饭盒，我就过了河。
Yeo climbed the hill to a small terrace where he was greeted by an amazing scene.
地上满布着许多哺乳动物化石，当时非常高兴。
Yeo's discovery left him exhilarated. He directed the members of his team to begin an excavation. Yeo was sure the site would lead to new information about the development of early humans. After repeated surveys, Yeo and his team picked a spot and began to excavate.
虽然面积不大，但是东西很多。
Within days, hundreds of stone artifacts and animal fossils were unearthed.
我们在8天的发掘过程当中，总共发现了804件旧石器，还有大量的哺乳动物，特别是很多3只马的化石。
These findings surprised Yeo even more. Hipparions were ancient animals that lived from 10 million to 1 million years ago. They were part of a group of animals collectively known as the Hipparion group. These fossils were an important find. Together with a large number of accompanying stone artifacts at the spot, suggested humans had very likely lived here more than 1 million years ago.
发掘回来的这些石器呢，它器型比较小，而且呢加工非常清楚。
According to Yo's study, the artifacts were made of igneous rocks and flint from Phoenix Mountain east of the site. The discoveries made by Yo and his team drew attention and doubts in some expert circles.
"问题在什么？从化石来看，它属于年代比较久远了，这是没有问题。但是石器比较小，因为以前我们对于这个旧石器认识啊，都认为是时代越早，人类对于石头的加工成为工具的，它的就比较粗大，而且更简单。
For a while, Yo was unable to find the proof to remove his colleagues' doubts. Indeed, there seemed to be a contradiction between the stone artifacts made with comparatively more advanced techniques and the old mammal fossils. A great deal of interest was aroused among Chinese and foreign experts alike. For decades, Chinese and foreign paleontologists and archaeologists have made surveys and excavations at Shaochungliang, but no human specimens dating to over 1 million years ago were found. Many of the experts differed over whether humans had lived in Nihewan during that time. The question boiled down to how far back the early prehistoric human remains at the site should be dated. Was it 1 million or 2 million years? Owing to technological restraints, the exact date of the site remained undetermined more than 20 years after its discovery. While doing research in 1981, Wei Qi, a research fellow at the Institute of Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleoanthropology, discovered Dongwutuo, another site with early prehistoric human remains to the east. On July 1st, 1991, the State Council approved a joint research project by Chinese and American archaeologists. The team, headed by Jia Lampo and Professor John Desmond Clark of UC Berkeley, would make a 2-year study and excavation at Dongwutuo. The joint research team discovered a large number of stone artifacts and fossils of vertebrate animals from Dongwutuo.
我们从东古陀来看当时的这个人类呢，它比小长梁的时期又有进步和发展，它的生存的能力、开发利用资源的能力又有所提高。
Through the paleomagnetic dating method, some American experts concluded the site was 1 million years old. The stone artifacts were unearthed from an even lower rock layer at Shaochungliang than those at Dongwutuo, and should therefore be dated earlier. For 10 years, Zhu Rixiang of the Institute of Geology and Geophysics had wanted to determine the date of the Xiaochungliang site. Through persistent thinking and research, he finally had a clearer idea of how to solve the mystery.
经过10年的努力，那么呢，一个主要透过2方面的问题来解决，一个呢就是加强地质工作，就我刚才讲到的是对一些地层对比；一个就是实验方法技术的改进。
At first, Zhu thought he had come up with a golden key by studying the rock layers containing stone artifacts. To his surprise, he soon found only bedrock under the rock layers there. The strata he had anticipated could not be found. Zhu's search reached an impasse. Zhu was back where he had started. His decades of research seemed to have come to nothing. He had hoped to date the site as quickly as possible, but that seemed impossible, at least for the foreseeable future. Zhu had to find a new way.
在另外一个跟它相连大概有1.5公里的地方找到另一个泡面。
But there was some light at the end of the tunnel. Zhu once again came across a helpful discovery during his explorations.
透过详细地层对比和追踪，把它接过去，等于它，像一个梯子一样给它接过去，解决了这么样一个过去解决不了的问题。
Finding the layers of rock he needed, Zhu was confronted with the problem of lab testing. He had to identify the orientation of the Earth's magnetic field for that specific geological period. This was the key to defining the exact date of Xiaochungliang.
但是我们透过开拓一些新的方法，我们把它从别人得不到结果的东西，我们得到了。
Zhu led Deng Chenglong and other researchers through many geomagnetic measurements. They eventually ascertained that the site could be dated to 1.36 million years ago. With brand new experiments and improved equipment, they had made their lab one of the first in the world for this kind of research.
那么今天想来嘛，觉得这个事情也很简单，但是当初还是确实也使我们很多次的失败，很多次的苦恼，最终还是把这个问题呢获得解决。
With Xiaochungliang's historical date identified, Nihewan came to be known as the earliest prehistoric human remains site in Northeast Asia. In early 2000, at the China Millennium Monument in Beijing, the name of the site was inscribed on a 270-meter-long path paved with bronze. In September of 2001, the scientific journal Nature ran the research report Zhu had directed. His dating of the site at 1.36 million years ago soon gained recognition among international archaeological circles. Yo and Ju concluded Nihewan man had lived by a warm lake 1 million years ago. The ancient lake also supports wild animals that live in large herds, such as huge steppe mammoths and hipparios. Nihewan man had to use teamwork to hunt for these animals. They used stones to butcher their kills. In May 2012, two American experts, both of whom had been closely involved in the excavations, returned to Nihewan again to continue their research. The mysterious place once more amazed them.
We excavated here for 2 seasons in the 1990s, early 1990s, and at several different levels. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just one level. They were occupying this for some period of time.
I think that the ancestors of Chinese people can be seen here at the archaeological sites.
Mm-hmm. Professor Schick pointed out that Nihewan may be the earliest evidence of humans in East Asia. Professor Toth calls Nihewan the true Olduvai Gorge of East Asia.
尼河湾遗址这些遗址群本身就构成了一部这个人类演化发展的这个历史教科书。这个文字是什么呢？就是当时人类生产生活留下来的这些工具用具，包括他们消费之余留下的一些动画石啊这些遗存。那么这个书的页码是怎么翻开呢？就是一层一层的这种地层。我们看层层叠叠的这种地层，我们叫做尼河湾层。
The pages of this book go back 1.36 million years ago. What is ahead of the chapter about Xiao Chengliang? Will pleasant surprises be in store? Xie Fei will restore the spectacular scene in which Nihewan man hunts mammoths from 66 footprints he finds in the ancient rock layers of Nihewan. How do they conclude these prints are from the steppe mammoths? Also, how would the earliest table used for a feast by ancient men look? All this and more in Part 4 of the Nihewan Man, Peking Man's Forefather.